Hey everybody, welcome back to Tens of Builds. Today we're going to be working on this 2021 Honda CRV. There are some things we're going to be installing on this car that are not offered through the dealership, and there are a few things that are. We're going to be talking about the price differences between what we're doing today and what it would cost if you took it to a dealership, so stay tuned. As many of you already know, this is my second channel. Tens of Motorsports is our main one where we work primarily on BMWs. So if you like this kind of stuff, if you like the custom modifications, race cars, things like that, check out my main channel, Tens of Motorsports. Now, the owners of this car came to me after finding out how expensive a couple of these items that they wanted to install aftermarket. This car is spec'd out absolutely perfect in my opinion, and the owners of the car completely agree. Shy of some leather seats, this car has basically every single option that the higher models can get. There's only one thing that this car doesn't have that some of the higher models have, and that is a heated steering wheel. A heated steering wheel from Honda is going to cost around $1,000. That's purchase and install. We're going to be installing one today that was bought for just over $400, and we're going to show exactly what all you need to buy, and the links to everything that we're doing today will be in the description below. Now we're going to go over some of the components here because the installation of this is a little bit more complicated than just replacing the steering wheel, but this was actually purchased from a Honda dealer that was very competitive about the parts that they had. So we ended up picking this up for just over $400. And that's everything you see here in the box. Our local dealership wanted close to $600 for this. So by shopping around, we saved $200. Let's go through this box and show exactly what we got. So the other thing that's really cool about the steering wheel is it is actually the leather wrapped steering wheel. So this is actually an upgrade. So even if you just had this one in there, it would be better than the one that the car came with. There's your wiring for the heater on it, but pretty straightforward, just a steering wheel. And we will be reusing the airbag and the controls on the one side from the parts that are in the car right now. All right, so I'm not gonna do a step-by-step install on the steering wheel. It is like 86 steps long. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be installing this, and if I see anything that's like overly difficult or weird, I'll stop the time lapse and I'll make sure to address it. But this looks pretty straightforward. It tells you step by step how to do it. This is an actual Honda instruction installation guide, and my favorite thing about this is actually right here. It says these procedures should not be attempted by do-it-yourselfers. So I'm not even supposed to be doing this, I guess, but I've rebuilt engines. I work on BMWs. I'm not super worried about this. I've built race car toggle switch panels and all sorts of different interesting stuff. All right, so the steering wheel is completely installed now and it does work. The only thing that I noticed going through this whole install process is towards the middle of the instructions, when you're starting to put the steering wheel back together after disassembling it and running the new wiring, is it keeps wanting you to put the steering wheel back together. It keeps showing you putting the steering wheel back together, and then the next instruction tells you to do something different with the wiring. And it was just really frustrating because I started putting it back together, and then I noticed in the next step, it wanted me to move something or do something specific. So make sure that you put the steering wheel together at the very end when you're all done with the wiring. In fact, I would recommend skipping to the last step. I think there's like probably 2 or 3 pages of the steering wheel install, the reassembly of all this trim and stuff. Jump to the last step because it shows everything done, and then I would go from there. And that way you're not constantly putting this on and taking it off. This trim is kind of thin, and right here where this is all one piece, it's kind of flimsy right here in the middle, and if you broke that, you're out who knows how much, and then you have to wait for new parts, and then you have to pull this all apart again to reinstall that. So be really careful with that. Honestly, everything else was really step by step. There was no major hiccups. There wasn't anything odd or unusual about the install. So it does work, it does turn on. We're very happy with the feel of the steering wheel, the leather over the fake plasticky looking stuff that it had in there before. Well, there you go, a bunch of fantastic daily driver mods. The heated steering wheel works fantastic. It wasn't the easiest thing to do, but it really wasn't that difficult when it came to actually doing the work. It was mostly just kind of a long process to film everything. If you want to see more content like this, you can subscribe to my main channel, Tenza Motorsports, where we are working on an E46 M3 wagon. That's the project behind me. We are about to paint this, and we've got a lot of videos on that to do. And then I've got my 330 race car that we do on that channel as well. We also do giveaways. So all you have to do is follow us on Tenza_Motorsports. Right now, we are in the process of doing some Super Clean giveaway. I just happen to be wearing one of their shirts today. So we are doing that very soon. If you want to be part of that giveaway or any future giveaways, again, all you have to do is follow us on Instagram, Tenza_Motorsports. I'll leave the link to that down in the description below. If you have any comments or questions, make sure to leave them in the comments section. I will do my best to reply as accurately as possible and in a timely fashion. And if you enjoyed today's content, hit the like button, subscribe if you are new. We will see everybody in the next video.
Bam!